the two Salutarians for the class of 2016. So we had two students who were so close in their accomplishments that we decided this year to have co-Salutarians. Shiva's teachers say that he is a problem solver, enthusiastic helper, serious learner, and dedicated individual. Outside of class, he is a talented musician and a competitor of soccer. Afra's teachers say she is bright, motivated, respectful and kind, a great role model, and active in many extracurriculars. She may look small, but she is fearless on the soccer field. Please help me welcome the two Salutarians for the class of 2016, Siva Kailas and Afra Noir.
Thank you all for coming today to celebrate our graduation. We are hardly the same people we used to be before we started our journey at Basis Chandler. Whatever motivation we started with, whether internal or for most of us external, was further enhanced by certain moments. Whether these were shared or unshared, emotional or funny, these moments have opened our eyes to the purpose of what we are doing.
Luckily for us, we have our school with our wonderful teachers and staff members to thank for these moments, which have guided us to realizing ourselves and our future. These moments that we're about to share with you are like the little children that cram up the hallways during passing period. Pervasive and ever so present. But we love them, right? In no way could we explain how Basis has provided these small but momentous instances or describe the effect that each has had on each and every one of us. Instead, we will present a couple of the stories that made our experience at Basis a particularly unique one.
What most people think of when they hear the word Basis is of the intensity of our curriculum. They fail to realize, however, that even with all of that rigor, in the end, we're still just kids. And kids will always find a way to make the most entertaining way to spend those mandatory 8 hours at school. Whether it be, turns out the amount of time we spent at school was often directly correlated with creativity. And most of the creativity was often found at Dr. Francesca's English class. Maybe it was our way of coping with the morbidity of the books we read, because most of the main characters we read about seemed to die of some horrible fate. We were all shocked when we read Mary Shelley's novel to hear that the monster's name wasn't in fact Frankenstein. We all agreed that he needed a name, so we named him Steve. And his grotesque wife was dubbed Edna. Apart from just English, we try to remember tidbits of information by making jokes. For example, want to remember your physics formulas? What did frequency say when it flipped period over? Ow, that hurts. Although we had fun, we were still dedicated students. And if you walk by during one of our lunchtimes, you might have seen a student playing soccer with a sandwich in one hand and a crash course AP book in another. That's just how we worked.
Turns out we weren't the only ones that like to have fun, though. They say that adults always have a little bit of kid left in them, and we definitely saw this in all of the ways that our teachers tried to impart their wisdom to us. Even if that wisdom took the form of Mr. Smith's rap about the French Revolution, Mr. Hirsch's songs about the government's eminent domain, Mr. Bowley's relatable stories about Japan, or Mr. Cash's peace at Puzzies. With all the mistakes we made, it's surprising they didn't get frustrated, because we certainly did. You would think the European people would get tired of learning their own history when all of their monarchs were named Louis, Henry, or Edward, right? Thankfully, all of our teachers, like Miss Hunt, possess superhuman memory skills to keep all of the information straight for us. Even when you forgot to put the indicator in the experiment, threw out your test mixture by accident, couldn't properly distill your solution, broke the mortar and pestle, or set up the centrifuge to go for 10 hours, Dr. Pete and Miss Raj would be there to help out and save the day, and hopefully your experiment. When you made a mistake, you'd have to stand there hoping your teachers weren't silently judging you too much, and that your grade didn't feel as low as you did right then. It was a relief when at least Mr. Ray could tie a knot with a string for a lab experiment when you and your 5 group members couldn't. And Dr. Pete was resourceful enough to effectively use a scalpel to get a stinger out of your finger when the bee attacked. Yup, they were pretty smart. So a quick thank you for your rescues and not getting too upset if we were still too loud when you were teaching with a sore throat, Miss J. If we didn't update our blogs on time or still haven't updated them, Miss Gathis and Miss Kirk. And for all of our other mistakes. Our teachers found ways to make us laugh along with teach us material, and in the end, they always knew what worked. We weren't always the easiest to handle, but there was always a surefire solution that almost every teacher seemed to take advantage of: food. Our teachers knew that when there was candy at stake, we would all behave just the way we should and they'd have our full attention. Anything related to food, we were there. Mr. Smith's prize for winning A-Push Team Trivia, pizza party. Mr. Richards helping us study for AP Calculus, get together in the gym and to snack and study for the day before the exam. Madam McHale teaching about French culture, field trip to a deli. Dr. Fount needs us to remember the information about heredity, M&M experiment followed by Jeopardy with candy as a prize. It worked every time.
But just because we love food doesn't mean we are that shallow when it comes to motivating us. Whatever sport or competition may be, we always try to find a way to one-up Basis Scottsdale. And the number of volunteers and hours that we have all contributed to Red Cross, NHS, Key Club, or Basis leaders are a testament to how much this class has giving back to the community. You don't see students from other schools get up at 5 in the morning to volunteer at a stunt run. You don't see students from other schools take 13 of the 20 finalist positions and win the top 5 places in an inter-school science competition. Here, you see students that are driven to make a difference and are united, often helping fellow students attain their goals as well. I've had the pleasure of helping one of my friends in calculus. I noticed he was struggling, and I offered him help in class when the teacher was busy, either teaching a new concept or helping other students. I told him to come into tutoring hours so that I could help him there, and I was able to help him bring his grade up to an A. And that's just a small example of what our student body stands for. Our class and our school are so close-knit, and our school instills in us a sense of camaraderie and the idea that it's just as important to see that others succeed as well as yourself.
So the journey through high school wasn't an easy one. A lot of the times the amount of APs we took was greater than our age when we entered Basis. It's been tough at times finishing our homework and getting ready for exams, but the class of 2016 is a tough group, and we've come further than a lot of us maybe thought we couldn't have. We were the first 8th grade class to take AP World History with Mr. Smith. I'm sure a lot of you are fond of that. We started up many of our school clubs such as Speech and Debate and Key Club, and we're the largest graduating class so far. Class of 2016, you should be proud. Although what Shiva and I talked about today here wasn't a list of our accomplishments, because with such accomplished classmates like you, we'd be up here forever listing those. There were moments that make Basis special to us apart from the curriculum. They'll be the stories we reminisce about at future gatherings, along with, of course, all the cocktail party knowledge we've accumulated throughout the years, and the ones we tell our future friends. Though our achievements may be etched on our resume, these events are etched on our hearts. They'll be the ones that put a smile to our faces 10, 20, 30 years from now and make us think, well, we were a pretty crazy but awesome high school class.
Congratulations to the class of 2016 and to everyone that helped us get here. Thank you.